Hey, it's Dr. Fredrick Peters, the fitness doctor. Thanks for watching. In today's episode, I'll be outlining my healthy grocery shopping tips. First off, never go shopping on an empty stomach. If you do, you're likely to make bad choices and you'll also find yourself overspending. So, when you first walk into a grocery store, it's important to have an open mind. Don't always be limited to buying the same foods every time you go shopping. And you're also likely to first approach the produce section. So, really stock up here. Most of your time should actually be spent in this produce section, buying things like fresh fruits and vegetables. And actually, the base of your cart should look like your dinner plate, with about half of it being fresh produce, about 25% being healthy grains, and the other 25% should be healthy proteins. So bear that in mind. Also, I didn't mention the top part of the cart. We'll get to that later. So your first stop, produce. Stock up on things like organic vegetables and fruits, but only buy organic items that you're going to be eating the skin of. Things like pineapple or oranges or bananas, don't waste your money. You're going to throw out the skin anyways. If you're buying things like apples and blackberries and blueberries, in that case, go organic. So after you've filled your cart up with lots of healthy produce, also make sure to get some fresh herbs. Things like oregano and thyme and cilantro and even lemons and limes are a great way to spice up meals without relying on butter and salt and stuff like that. So your next stop in the grocery store would be the protein section. This is where you're going to find meat and, chicken and poultry and whatnot. When you're here, look for the hopefully non-red meat sources of protein. My personal opinion is more of a plant-based opinion, but if you're going to go the route of meat, opt for chicken and turkey and fish. I advise folks to eat at least 2 servings of fish each week, and look for wild-caught fish. Now, there's no such thing as organic fish. We don't really know what they're eating in the ocean. We can't tell that, but look for wild-caught. Also, when you're looking for chicken, go for organic chicken. You don't want any hormones or steroids in your chicken. And the same thing goes for red meat. Go with the organic grass-fed route in terms of red meat. The next stop would be the grain section. So look for things like whole grains such as amaranth and quinoa, things that are full of fiber and very, very healthy, and also organic is a good choice here. But you're looking for whole grains. Now, back to the produce perspective, okay? You want to buy fresh produce because if you buy fresh, it's going to go bad if you don't eat it, right? And so that's one of my personal tricks because I don't want to waste food. So, but if it's out of season, then buy frozen. That's the next best alternative because it's usually frozen at its peakness of freshness. Be cautious of some frozen foods because a lot of it's full of preservatives. Also be cautious of boxed foods. Things that are boxed will have lots of preservatives, and so become a label reader. Look for things like sodium and saturated fat and calories and cholesterol because that's what's hidden in your food. And if the food contains more than 5 ingredients, it's probably not the best thing for you, so be mindful of that as well. Remember, only buy organic when it matters. Things like milk, dairy, that's very important because you don't want those hormones in your milk. But bear in mind the idea that I mentioned. The base of the cart looks like your dinner plate. 50% produce, 25% grains, and 25% lean protein. Now that top portion where you're going to have, let's say, a little small child sit, that is where you can add some of the boxed items if you have to buy them. One little tip is if they exceed that little section of the cart, you've bought too much, so put it back. Those are my tips for today. Healthy grocery shopping sort of survival guide. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.